see you again, my friends. Dr. Phineas Cortex, at your service. Now, if you remember yesterday, we met each other and we talked about our home planet, the Earth. But now that we are on the first steps of our journey, we get to look at Earth's moon. Here, computer, take us to the moon for us. State-of-the-art technology. Here, I've got some data for us. Here we go. Now, as of course many of you know, Earth has one moon. And in reality, this moon actually has its own name, and it is called Luna. It's of course Latin for the term moon. Really creative, I know. Now, the special thing about the moon is that it rotates on its axis at a time of 27.32 Earth days, but it revolves around the Earth in that same amount of time. It sort of acts as a mini-planet, if you will. Instead of revolving around the sun, it revolves around another planet of its own kind. Now, this special sort of revolution is called a geosynchronous orbit, which is a fancy term meaning that one side of the moon always faces Earth. So, whenever you are looking outside at any given time at night, and you can see the moon, you are seeing the same side of the moon every night. Quite amazing, in fact, I must say. Now, the moon is a rather small space body, but it is 238,000 miles from Earth, and with a diameter of 2,160 miles, which is about the average distance from the East Coast to the West Coast of the United States. Now, being it that the moon has no atmosphere of any kind, it is exposed to crazy temperatures, I must say, with it getting 225 degrees Fahrenheit in the daytime and negative 224 degrees at night. A good thing we have this geosynchronous orbit thing happening if we were to set any lunar colonies, if I do say so myself. Now, the surface of the moon is made from a relatively weak rocky material, as opposed to strong materials you may find on Earth, like iron or aluminum or anything on the Earth's crust. Now, that being said, with the moon having no sort of atmosphere at all, excuse me, my throat is getting to me at the moment, it has been bombarded by meteors and meteorites, forming the craters that you all know today. Forming these huge valleys, in fact. Like, they're really huge. Have you seen them? My gosh, you can see them from Earth. Now, that being said, another thing on the moon's surface, if you were to ever look at the moon, you may see these dark spots. If you are familiar with them, you know how the moon's surface is a light grey. Well, you can see some of these spots are dark grey. These shaded regions are called Maria, and they are small dark regions of basaltic material. Now, although the moon may appear a bit strange in some ways, and believe me it is responsible for a number of helpful and unique phenomenons. One of these, of course, is the rise and fall of the tides here on Earth. Now, I'm sure you've heard of the term high tide and low tide. This is all based on where the moon, the Earth, and the sun are positioned at any given time. Another phenomenon you might have heard of or have seen in recent years, lunar and solar eclipses. Now, a lunar eclipse is where the Earth gets in between the moon and the sun. And because the Earth is blocking most of the sun's rays on the moon, the light from the sun sort of intersects on the moon. And because of that, when we look at the moon from Earth during this phenomenon, it sort of appears a reddish hue, rather than the usual grey hue, as a matter of fact. Now, solar eclipses are a bit similar, in fact, but this time the moon gets in between the sun and the Earth. Now, when the moon passes in front of the sun, many of the sun's rays do not hit the Earth, and we can only see the outer layers, which is really a fantastic phenomenon. I saw one a few years ago, and it was tremendous. It looks a little bit like this. You see, the dark spot, that's supposed to be the moon, and all these lines, they're supposed to be the sun's outer rays, or as we call the I can't remember, actually. I actually can't remember. Tell you what, that's a good question. I might come back to that later. But anyhow, another phase, the phases on the moon is another phenomenon we can see from Earth. Yes, I'm sure you've seen the crescents and the half moons and the full moons. And of course, we are all familiar with the quite elusive new moons. Now, this is all based on, of course, again, the position of the moon relative to its rotation spot and revolution spot when it's revolving around the Earth. Yes? Yes, and of course, the sun's rays are hitting the moon at any given point in time, and it makes the moon appear like these phases when we can see them from the Earth. Yes? Good. Well, I must say, the moon is a wonderful, wonderful satellite to have as a heavenly neighbor. But this is probably the nearest neighbor, I'm afraid, we have in space. From here on out, we are going to sail the spacey space, and we are going to investigate planets and stars right beyond the grasps of our own planet. As a matter of fact, I'm getting rather hungry quite thinking about it. You know, I think it would be rather good to have some sort of a snack. Yes, a snack to have on our journeys. And I know just the person or robot that can help us. Hello, Jean-Bot Bear. Do you have a recipe for us?
Boy, do I. Hello, everybody. My name is Jean-Bot Bear, and I'm the robot cooking unit for the USS Carolina. I'm here to tell you today about a special snack. Today I'll be uploading the recipe on how to make organic energizers, fresh with ingredients from the planet Earth. Young space cadets, make sure to get your parental units to help you with this one. Now, to make organic energizers, you will need to prepare 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, 4 wooden skewers, 1 cup of seedless grapes, 1 small sliced banana. Now, first, you need to cut these sandwiches into 1-inch squares, just tiny little squares. Then you need to alternately thread the sandwich squares, grapes, and banana slices onto the skewers. That's all there is to it for this energizing and delectable snack. Back to you, Dr. Cortex.
Oh, thank you very much, Jambot. I'm sure that those organic energizers will be very delicious. Well, I'm afraid, my friends, our time is growing short once again. Join us next time and we will be exploring... Oh, I can't remember again. Daggone. I'm going to ask the computer. One moment, please. Here. Computer, what will we be exploring next time? There it goes again. I don't know why it does that. Oh, what's this? It's a little piece of paper again. Oh, of course. How could I forget? Well, next time, my friends, we are going to be looking at the planet Mercury. I mean, it's the next planet we have. It's the closest one from the sun. It's quite a marvel, yes? I think it will be myself. Well, I hope that you have enjoyed this broadcast, and I shall see you next time. Oh, remember, do your salutes as we end this. All right, are you ready? In 3, 2, 1...